Hi, I'm Tom Wigchild, the best-selling author of A Course in Miracles Dummy series and Ending Fear, the 7R Formula for Fearless Awakening. In this video newsletter, I want to talk about how these two books relate. A Course in Miracles and Ending Fear may look like two different paths, yet they are interrelated and ultimately merge as one with the same unifying purpose, which is the ending of fear. Over the past years, my focus continues to evolve. Originally, being the conduit for A Course in Miracles Dummy series, the focus was on understanding and studying ACIM. Although this continues to be a major concern, the practical needs of how people actually apply ACIM's principles to improve their current lives now is my major focus. I believe that your spiritual practice should be capable of bringing lasting happiness and inner peace today. You should not have to wait for some fantasy land that never seems to arrive. After all, ACIM states that God's will is that you be happy, and God's will should not be mocked. Over the past few months, my newsletters have emphasized this world and your relationship to it. This is because I believe it is no accident that we are currently stuck on this planet at this time. One of the most frequent complaints that I hear is that people claim they don't belong here. They want to escape or somehow leave this world. Yet in this dimension of space-time, there are no victims and there are no victimizers. We are all willing volunteers. I tell them that because we find ourselves here, there must be some learning lesson that this fear-based planet is designed to teach us. We just have forgotten the big picture. A Course in Miracles says that we have come here to learn how to control, manage, and ultimately eliminate fear. It says that only you can do this for yourself. No one else can wave some magic wand and make your fears disappear. No one has that power nor that responsibility. Yet ACIM claims that each has within themselves the power to end fear in their own life. Overcoming fear is your decision. It is your choice. In Ending Fear, the 7R Formula for Fearless Awakening, we identified that it is our society's fear-based thought system that is the problem. As small children, we have been indoctrinated into a fear-based thought system. You were not given a choice, nor had you the power to resist it. Our society's thought system was designed to control and manipulate you by keeping you in a constant state of fear. Fear and happiness cannot coexist. They are mutually exclusive. The truth is that you can never be truly happy when you live in fear. If you are to find the happiness and inner peace that we all seek and deserve, you must confront, challenge, and overthrow this thought system that was designed to generate and perpetuate fear in the first place. Fear is the problem, not the solution. Fear arises anytime you believe you lack the creative ability to handle a given situation. Our beliefs trigger the fear response, not the actual event itself. This means your beliefs and judgments, not the level of actual danger inherent in the event itself, controls the emotion you call fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It is based on mental judgments that are filtered through your belief system. These judgments are not based on reality, but rather your perception of reality. Thus, what one calls fear is actually a mental judgment, not a unique bodily reaction. Physiologists have proven that the body's physiological response to what we call fear and excitement are identical. It is only the mental judgment that is being processed through your current thought system that determines if the experience will be labeled fear or excitement. Fear arises anytime you get either of these two questions wrong. The first is, what am I? The second is, what do I value and why? In our secular society, it proclaims that you are the body and the body is you. Our religious traditions often claim that there is some final judgment awaiting us. Accept either of these two beliefs and you will always remain trapped in fear. ACIM's message provides both a logical and practical approach to ending fear. Yet to end fear, you must confront it where it is found. It's easy to be a holy man on a mountain, but can you do it in town when someone is kicking sand in your face? Now that's the real test. This is why you came here, to prove and demonstrate to yourself that nothing can rob you of your own inner peace unless you choose to allow it. ACIM states that in space-time, your function is forgiveness, your purpose is love, and your destiny is the peace of God. To end fear in this lifetime and fulfill that destiny, you need both a practical approach and a spiritual one. The train to freedom has two seemingly independent rails that it rests upon. Together, these two rails are joined to form one train track. You need to learn that you are in this world, but not of it. As you look down this track, these two seemingly separate rails merge as one, and ending fear becomes possible. Because of this, in the future, we will be presenting two different newsletters. You may currently be receiving a newsletter from endingfear.org. Its goal is the understanding, controlling, and management of your fears. Understanding ACIM.org's newsletter has a much broader goal. Its goal is the elimination of fear itself. Thus, they complement and support each other to reach one unifying purpose, ending fear's control over your life. The Ending Fear newsletter addresses the day-to-day problems dealing with your physical and mental state. It deals with what the soft and hard scientists tell us about how our world and mind operates. It will not directly address A Course in Miracles, but will address the hard question of consciousness. This first newsletter's goal is only the management of fear. We do this because the scientific method bans or does not apply to items that its current instruments cannot measure or test. It assumes that the physical world is always causative, and thus the non-material nature of consciousness and how the physical gives rise to the non-material is beyond its scope. Science chooses to assume that some physical explanation must exist that is currently beyond its expertise. Thus, any spiritual explanation is dismissed as deemed as unscientific. 95% of what scientists tell us must exist, what they call dark matter and dark energy, also falls into the same category of the unobservable and thus beyond the scope of current investigation. Because of these self-imposed limitations, scientists are trapped searching for a so-called theory of everything that excludes this 95% unobservable component that is beyond their research. Is it possible that this 95% actually is the cause of the 5% that comprises the visible physical world that the scientists can study? Could consciousness arise from or be a different name for this mysterious unknown thing that they call dark matter or dark energy? In our case, we will explore the concept widely discussed and often supported by both the soft and hard scientists that beliefs or consciousness seems to possess a causative power of their own that affects the physical world. Since we live in this world, it is important to know the laws that actually govern the physical world so that we can use them to our advantage. The above will be the focus of the endingfear.org newsletters. In understanding ACIM.org's newsletter, we will explore your spiritual state of being. I can and will discuss the principles, logic, and philosophy that is found in ACIM and other spiritual traditions. This area is often assumed to be beyond the scientific method, yet there are many scientific studies of phenomena that support these traditions. Science seems to be proving the long-held mystical adage that thoughts become things. The goal of understanding ACIM.org's newsletter is the actual elimination of fear. Since we are body, mind, and spirit, we cannot eliminate fear without exploring the spiritual side of our nature. Since we live in this world, it is important to know the laws that govern both the physical and spiritual worlds so that we can use these laws to our advantage. This will be the focus of understanding ACIM.org's newsletters. Ultimately, if your goal is to eliminate fear, you must correctly answer that first question, what am I? That requires the abandonment of the erroneous belief that you are the body and the body is you. For some, that may require a leap of faith that they currently do not possess. My task will be to present evidence that can build a solid foundation under that belief so that you can logically replace that leap of faith with knowledge of your own. You are an infinite, individuated aspect of consciousness. As such, you are a feedback loop that allows you to witness the effects of the choices you are making in the depths of your mind that rest within the mind of God. Each thought is the vibration of creation which you use to communicate to the world in an attempt to experience communion with all of life. Based on these experiences, you decide if mid-course corrections are warranted when you compare your current self-identity to the truth of that oneness. Freedom is the capacity for each person to decide what their identity as a person will be by deciding the principles by which their life will be guided and how they will choose to apply those principles in specific circumstances of choice. I hope that these newsletters will help unlock the power within you to reclaim the freedom you need to manage, control, and eliminate fear in your life. The law of time states, in the end, everything is perfect. If it does not seem perfect now, it is not the end. Come join us in this movement of fearless awakening. If not now, when? Ultimately, we all must reawaken to the truth of what we are. Reclaim your divine birthright, for it is your destiny. If you've missed some of our past newsletters or are currently not receiving our newsletters, complete the form below to be added to our subscribers list. This is Tom Wakechild, asking you to create a great day for yourself and your world. Namaste.